I used to think that to trust God and have a budget were opposites. Like, the more spiritual you were, the less you planned. Turns out I had that exactly backwards, and Scripture actually says so. A lot of us grew up hearing, "Don't worry about tomorrow," and quietly turned that into, "Don't plan for tomorrow." So we skip the budget, avoid the retirement account, don't build an emergency fund, and call it faith. Then a car breaks down or a job gets cut, and instead of feeling more spiritual, we feel crushed. Something's off. Either the Bible is bad financial advice, or we've misread it. Matthew 6:34 tells us not to be anxious about tomorrow. Proverbs 6:6-8 tells us to look at the ant, who stores up provisions in summer without anyone telling her to. These aren't contradictory commands. One addresses the posture of your heart, "Don't let tomorrow steal your peace today." The other addresses the posture of your hands, "Prepare responsibly while you can." Proverbs 21:5 makes the pairing explicit. The plans of the diligent lead to profit, but haste leads to poverty. Trust isn't the absence of a plan. Trust is what lets you make a plan without gripping it in fear. Trust governs your emotions about the future, not your actions in the present. Planning is stewardship, not a lack of faith. You're managing what's already been entrusted to you. The parable of the talents, Matthew 25:14-30, is literally about this. Diligence and dependence aren't a spectrum. You don't have to slide toward one to have more of the other. There is this story of a young professional who for years told himself he didn't need a savings account. "God will provide" was the phrase he leaned on, not as trust, but as an excuse to spend everything he made and feel spiritual about it. Then his wife was involved in a car crash. Multiple surgeries were required to save her life, in excess of $5,000. He didn't have it. He prayed hard, genuinely expecting some kind of breakthrough, a check in the mail, a generous friend, something miraculous. What actually happened was slower and less dramatic. He had to borrow from family, sell a few things, and pick up extra shifts for a few months to pay back. No lightning bolt provision, just a long, humbling climb out of a hole he dug himself. Looking back, he realized something. God's provision doesn't always show up as a rescue after the crisis. Sometimes it looks like the discipline he'd resisted. The boring, unspiritual feeling habit of setting aside a little each month so the next shock wouldn't be a catastrophe. He'd been waiting for God to catch him, when God had already given him the tools to not need catching. That's the moment the difference between trust and avoidance became clear to him. Trust doesn't mean hoping to be rescued. It means being faithful with what's in front of you today, so tomorrow doesn't have to be a crisis. Open or check your emergency fund this week. Even $25 is a start. Write down one financial decision you've been avoiding because of faith, and ask honestly, is this trust or is this avoidance? Read Proverbs 21:5 and Proverbs 6:6-8 back-to-back this week. Quick note, this is biblical and educational content, not personalized financial advice. For decisions about your specific situation, talk to a licensed financial advisor. Trust and preparation were never enemies. Scripture commends both, a heart that isn't anxious and hands that are diligent. If you grew up with a money belief like this one, drop it in the comments. I might make a video answering it. And subscribe, because next week we're tackling another one.